Your makeup sucks? Hello you guys, James Charles here. I needed a little clickbait to get the girls going, okay? I'm gonna walk you guys through my makeup routine, but we're gonna start off from the very beginning of the makeup routine with, of course, the primer almost always peels underneath and makes the foundation come up with the beauty sponge. The primer and foundation that you are using are not compatible. Comments, questions, concerns. The harsh reality is, okay, there's not really an easy answer to any of these questions. I needed a little clickbait to get the girls going, okay? So it's really about trial and error, but hey sister, I'm going to grab a small little brush just like this and a pot concealer. I truthfully and scientifically do not have an answer for you as to why foundation always slips off the nose. I have been dealing with this problem literally since I started doing makeup, is just go in with a pot concealer. This looks stupid as hell. It's like wearing underwear. And then with the same concealer, I'm just gonna go in and just lightly go over any areas where I have any sort of pigmentation. My skin's doing pretty well right now. But for those of you guys who might suffer with acne or any breakouts, once again, just like the nose, it's gonna apply an extra layer of coverage to make sure that everything is nice and even. We all have different skin, and because of that, you really have to do some research and honestly try some things out to see what works for you and what doesn't. Before I move on, I'm just gonna take my oversized painted beauty sponge. I'm gonna do a couple of little dabs right into the excess foundation that is still on my little palette, okay? I'm not really picking up any additional product. I'm kind of just getting the excess that's on there. And that way, when you touch your sponge that has been wet with water to your oily foundation, do you see where I'm going with this? It's not gonna separate the product. And I have some rather unfortunate news for you guys, okay? There is nothing you can do to prevent that from happening. The less product that you have on, the less creasing is gonna occur. Luckily, my skin's pretty even over there, and therefore the less product that's there, the less that can actually crease in the first place. We don't need 2 different layers of complexion product, plus the powder, plus an under eye brightening powder, plus the whole fucking thing. So, I personally like a more full coverage concealer. A lot of my celebrity makeup artist friends absolutely love the Hourglass Vanish Concealer. I went out and bought this because so many people recommended it to me and I loved it at first, but holy shit, this creases on me so badly. It kills me, but this just does not work. And unfortunately, that's gonna be the same thing with a lot of you guys out there. A lot of people really struggle with where to place their contour and blush first when my base is wet. And I'm just gonna grab this random, it's gonna go right in to the cream. Now, the biggest mistake that people make with their contour in general is going too heavy. Now, the guide that I like to follow when doing my contour, okay, is you wanna imagine a line between the top of your ear and the bottom of your lip. Once that's on there, I'm just gonna use that brush to lightly blend it upwards. Okay, do you hear me? Upwards, round. If you blend downwards, it's gonna cause as if you got your buccal fat removed, and that is not a look, okay? It does not give. Never gives. Or it can look like a beard. I'm gonna go in on my jawline with that sunken in look. If you're trying to do a small nose contour, and I'm going to sketch in 2 ski slopes. Obviously, okay, my nose is not actually that skinny. Full transparency, okay, this tiny little nose contour will not look good on everybody. It's just gonna look fucking stupid. So instead of listening to me teach you, try to find a beauty blogger or somebody on TikTok that has a nose shape similar to yours and see how they do it and see what works best. Or even on a day where you have nothing going on and you don't have to leave the house, just try out some different nose contours. Just grab a little bit of a full coverage concealer, just like this. Okay, now the last step is just gonna be to take our little concealer brush from before, and I'm just going to, now lastly, before I set everything with powder, I'm just gonna go in with some cream blush. But one of the things that I saw a lot of people complaining about is that their blush never lasts throughout the day, and I get that. Unfortunately, a lot of powder blush formulas just are not made to be long lasting. Using a cream underneath your powder blush. So this should go right slightly above where you place your contour. Just like that. All right, good to go. And I was shocked to read this, okay? I thought that it was common knowledge that you have to set your face with powder no matter what, okay? Duh! Oh my God, yes! Sorry, I don't want to be rude. Your makeup sucks. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be rude. I don't want to be condescending. Your makeup sucks. You still have to use powder.
Oh, try me, bitch.
Now that we are all set in place, I'm just gonna go in quickly and just reinforce some of those powders that we have on the face. Some brightening powder. I'm gonna use a MAC foundation. And then lastly, blush, starting off with powder, like you guys were complaining about. I love to go in with a little bit of setting spray. I'll do a couple of spritzes all over my face, just like that. But before that dries, I'm gonna grab my giant sponge one last time, and I'm gonna dip into that same cream blush that we used earlier, really, really lightly. And I'm just gonna go in, and I'm just going to pat this sponge lightly, like a wet, slippery slope. And do you see how beautiful and radiant the skin looks while still being very full coverage, very smooth, and very blended? I hate it every single time, and that is my eyebrows. And if I was to do, I could literally sit here and do a 6-hour-long masterclass on just eyebrows alone. I hate it. I'm just gonna give my kind of general rule of thumbs that I like to follow when doing either my own brows or a client. For me, I obviously have very dark brown hair, so I like to use soft brown so they don't turn out like Sharpies. I'm gonna zoom you guys in. I like to start off by tracing a really light line, following it all the way out to the tail. I like to pull it out, see, just like that. You can see this is already looking really good.
I said bitch where.
Okay, this is nice, this is shapely, it's gorgeous, but you can see I have a little bit of patchiness. So at this point, all I'm gonna do, I'm going to very, very lightly just fill in. Ooh, look at how much better that looks. See, so good. Love, 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 love. Okay, just use a little bit and that's all you need. And it's really doing wonders to kind of lift and pull together my whole face. So at this point, I'm gonna go in and do the other one quickly off camera. Unlike brows, this step I do love, okay? Love eyeshadow. The thing about makeup, you really get to spice it up. You can match your outfit. Tips, techniques, shapes. But if you wanna do an eyeshadow look, you have to use, okay, you have to use a primer, a concealer, something. So I would not skip that step. Look at that, flat. And let me show you the eyeshadow fallout. We do have any fallout, and the fallout will go right with it. Now, let's start with some actual shadow. I'm gonna go in today with the Painted Basic Canvas palette, okay? We're back to the basics in today's YouTube video, so this is the perfect palette to use. And I'm just gonna go right in, right above my crease. And do you see where your eyelid folds? For me, it is right here. You can also stick your little brush in there. That's where your crease is. Right above that crease, we're basically contouring our eyelids. You don't need to go crazy. We're gonna blend this right into the nose contour. This whole area, we really want to be all synchronized. And we're just gonna wiggle this back and forth, blend that out. Gorgeous. I'm just gonna put that on, nice and blended out. Crease, cutting the crease. A flat and precise round concealer brush is some sort of cream or liquid. You want the tip to be extremely precise. I don't care if it's rude, okay, we're not eating dinner. Nice and stable and balanced. And stamping this liquid product into my crease. See, and now we have the general shape on there. It is really hard to remove it. Small undercut crease and go bigger. Have that crease all cut. And this is gonna help bring everything together. A super sharp cut crease. Okay, obviously they are all fully there to darken your crease. And trace that original crease line right above those shadows. Above where the crease was supposed to be. And now that is pretty much the shadow all complete. And we are left with a super clean, beautiful eyeshadow look. But I love to take this brush and just go right like this. Ooh, so good, so pretty. At this point, let me go ahead and do the other one off camera. Bitch, even still to this day. And those bitches will be pointing completely different directions. And you don't have that time.
Today I got time, cuz.
Controversial opinion, your makeup sucks. I think every look needs an eyeliner, but not necessarily a wing. And I'm just going to really, really, really small, thin, lightly trace my lash line. Okay, just like that. Now that looks crazy. Obviously it looks ugly, it just stops in the middle of the eyelid. We're gonna do the same thing on the other eye. So once again, I'm gonna grab my basic canvas and I'm gonna grab a little bit of Theodore, tap this black right over the edge of that liner to blend it in to the shadow. See how it kind of creates that like winged out look anyway, but it's not that like super harsh black line that would mess up the blending of the shadow. So I'm just gonna do mine, a small little natural Ardell Demi Wispy lash, you know, wearing a drag lash. So all I'm gonna do is brush a little bit of glue onto the band of that lash, as you guys can see, below my head. Tilt my chin upwards, it's never gonna work. And you place the lash on top of the lashes, downwards, right into place. Not a minute. As soon as it makes contact. Now, and I'm going to pinch together my lashes. If you're too scared to do this with your tweezers, truly devastating. It does make the world of a difference. Look at how pretty. Oh my God, they feel so good. Okay, we are skipping bottom mascara. You'll also notice I skipped lower lash line shadow as well. Personally, I love it. I think it looks so much more like lifted and pulled. Last but not least, we have the lips. Lips are personal. Whenever I get my makeup done by makeup artists, I always ask, first of all, bitch, I'm gonna show you, make some giant circle. And that is not the vibe. It looks crazy. It looks like you're a fucking clown. It's giving duck lips. Good. And you're not fooling anybody either, okay? And the whole point of overlining is to trick the eye into thinking that you got some lip filler. Only overline the middle. So that's the only shit that's getting overlined, okay? And what I'm gonna do is draw right above the middle. See? Just like that. But now, then we're going to play connect the dots. And look at how good that looks. See, it's nice and plump, it's overlined, but you don't look crazy. So just like this, you can't really tell. Unless you have flat, small lips. In that case, I'm saying a prayer to you. It looks kind of crazy, just small. Connecting back to the regular inner corners. I'd rather have a comfortable matte lippy that I might have to reapply once or twice throughout the day, butthole lips. And last, but very much not least, we're going to set this shit in place. So I'm just gonna go right in. And then once again, that wetness is gonna help melt all the powders back into place. I do like to take my powder puff one last time, and the very last step is to use another setting spray. This one is the Until Dawn. I've helped you learn what mistakes you may be making throughout your makeup routine. One makeup wipe and you can wipe that shit off and start all the way over. Please, 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 don't forget to give it a big thumbs up down below. Your love and support really helps out the channel quite a lot.